You have made it, and we have a lot of great sports ahead of us. College football, NBA, NHL today, and obviously the rest of NFL Week 11 kicks off tomorrow at 1 p.m. No more international games. Thank God. We don't love those early starts, especially for you West Coasters. Great to have all of you with us, no matter the platform. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. It is so wonderful to see so many familiar faces and names coming into the chat. I say faces because at this point, I feel like I can put a face to the handle, but I love seeing so many of the regulars show up right away. It is so wonderful to have you with us every single day. John, we do have college football bets to give out. They are on the SHARPZ app. I know there have been some issues there, but don't worry. Now that we are live, we are going to give out a ton of picks today. I have done my research. We are going to give out over 10, 15 college football picks today. We have about 6 NBA picks to give out, and we have an NHL pick that puck drops in about an hour. So we've got a ton to give out. Lots going on today. Hope you guys are doing really well no matter where you are. Hope you're settled in, safe, and going to enjoy what should be a great day of sports. You may notice the voice is a little froggy today. The voice is a little weak. So if at points I have to take a moment, please forgive me. But we're going to be doing a lot of talking today and tomorrow. So we're just going to power through and battle through. Good morning to all of you. Hope to have you with us for the entirety of our show. Let's kick things off. We're going to talk a lot of college football, a lot of NFL, and obviously a lot of fantasy football. So make sure you guys, as always, are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing no matter the platform. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Kick. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, hit the like button on the video. If you're watching on TikTok, every time we hit 2,000 likes today, we'll give out a pick. For those watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, please hit the like button every time you do. The algorithm shares the video and shares our channel with more people. It's how we grow as a company. Great to have all of you with us. If you ever want to reach out to us off the air, email us, feedback@buttfumblesports.com, or go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. With that said, let's get into some fantasy football advice for you guys and dive right into things. Waddle or Cup? I lean towards Waddle, Nick. I'm leaning towards Waddle. I'm not as high on Cup tomorrow as maybe others are. That said, Gibbons asks Debo or Waddle. I'd go Debo. I would go with Debo. Is Justin Jefferson going to play? Casey, I am still waiting on word. Feel like it's going to be the ultimate game time decision. Haven't heard just yet. Bijan for Swift. Who's going to get the better end of the trade? Probably the Bijan side. I feel like his usage is actually going to increase to probably its max during the final half of the season, where Swift, he continues to be jeopardized by the Philly push or, the tush push, whatever. Alex Steffen, Browns or Steelers defense tomorrow? Great question. I'd probably lean towards the Browns defense. They're the better defense, and Kenny Pickett isn't substantially better, so I'm going to lean towards the Browns defense. Doesn't mean I'm picking the Browns tomorrow, just means I like their defense a little more. Brock Ford, what up? Should Jamar and Ingram for JT, is that a bad trade? Yes, it is. Mr. Lopez, pick 3. Mr. Lopez, I would go Singletary, Waddle, and Ayuk. Mr. Lopez, I like Ford actually more as I evaluate it with the numbers last night, but I still go Singletary, Waddle, and Ayuk. Ibrahim, thoughts on Kyren rest of season? I mean, I don't love the fact that now that there's a committee in the backfield with Henderson, so I'm not as high on him as I was earlier in the year. Remy, Dobb, Murray, Fields. Between that group, I'd go Kyler Murray. Remy, I'd go Kyler Murray, and I'd go Hopkins. Kyler Murray and Hopkins. Thank you, guys. Thanks, moderators. Moderators, I didn't get to that other pinned tweet. If we could put that one back up. Kyle Benton, I'd go Nico Collins. David, I got Kelsey, Hawkinson. Trade one for Jefferson or St. Brown. If you're going to trade for anybody, trade for St. Brown. I'd probably trade Hawkinson for St. Brown, but to be honest, I don't hate having the 2 tight ends. They actually may be more valuable than most wide receivers you could own. Avery Paul, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson just barely. Avery Paul, I'll go Garrett Wilson. Booty Balla, I'd go Waddle. Good morning to you, Booty Balla. Again, when we hit our live goal during the show, I'm not going to give out any player prop bets. We did not do well on our player prop bets last night. So I'm going to go back Again, forgive me for the throat. I'm going to go back and do some extra research before giving out player prop bets for today's games. I'll probably give those out during our 4 p.m. show. But during this show, I'm giving out game picks. So every time we hit 2,000 likes on TikTok, every time we hit our live goal, we're going to give out college football, NBA, and NHL picks. So make sure you guys are hitting us up. Brent, tight end. I'd go Musgrave. Brent, I'd go Musgrave. Thanks so much for the kind words, Brent. You're the best. CPs, any thoughts on Jamar Chase rest of season? I actually, in evaluating it, I don't think his value is going to drop off to a ridiculously bad level. I still think he's going to get targeted, but is he a wide receiver 1 in the same way he was before? Probably not. Probably closer to a high-end wide receiver 2 at this point. Adam Fritz lost Burrow and was offered Allen and Ford for Jacobs and Laporta. I wouldn't do it. I'd rather have Jacobs and Laporta. I just can't give up. Again, I talked about this yesterday. I don't want to create a mistake or a hole on my team to try to fill one. It's rare that you're able to plug a hole without actually compromising the integrity of the entire team. I wouldn't give up Jacobs and Laporta. I think they're too valuable, and I think there are probably other quarterbacks that you could find through other means, waiver wire or through an easier trade. Drew Johnson, I'd go Achan. Drew Johnson, I'd go Achan. Grant Carl, trade Kamara, Hopkins, and Diggs for Eckler, Olave, and Garrett Wilson. Ooh, very, very close. I'm going to lean towards no, actually. I'll lean towards no, but it's a very close trade. I'm going to take the no, though. Ingram, Jamar, and Javonte for McCaffrey. Brock Ford, I actually would do that deal. Drew, Pacheco for Hollywood Brown. Is it fair? It's fairer than it's been at any point this year, but I still think Pacheco is probably the better own. Pacheco won't have a good game this week, but rest of season, I'd still rather have Pacheco, I think. Is it fair? Probably yes, but I still am not as high on Hollywood Brown as Pacheco. Julio Ramirez, I'd go Rashad White. Julio Ramirez, I'd go Rashad White. Jones Nation, Chase and Bijan for Ayuk and Breece Hall. Very interesting. I lean towards yes, but it's close. Again, at 2,000 likes, we'll give out our first pick of the day. Be a college football pick. We have a bunch of college football picks to drop on you guys. Uncle A, standard scoring, need 2. Dell, Henderson, Adams, DK, Metcalf. Out of that group, I would probably lean towards Dell and Metcalf. Uncle A, it'd be Dell and Metcalf for me, I believe. David, trade Puka, Hopkins. Who would you target? We're not going to do open-ended questions, but the answer is yes, you could trade him. I think Hopkins has value this week, though. Josh Keller, Ferguson for Swift. Yes, Josh Keller, I would do that trade. I'd rather have the running back. Brady, Youngblood, Robinson, or David Montgomery. Already have Gibbs. Brady, it's Brian Robinson. Good matchup this week against the Giants. I feel like he's going to find the end zone once again. He's been a top 5 fantasy running back so far this year, to the surprise of many. I take Brian Robinson. I like David Montgomery a lot, but tough matchup against the Bears' run defense, so I'll take Brian Robinson against the Giants. What do you think of Carter potential in Arizona? I actually love the opportunity for Michael Carter just to get on the field more. He's got a lot of talent. We saw it last year when Breece Hall got hurt. If Michael Carter is able to get some touches, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts together some good tape. Now, does that mean he's a good fantasy pickup? Probably not. It's close, as in if you're in like a 16-man league, sure. But if you're in a 10-man league, he doesn't possess much value. I just like the idea of him actually getting on the field. Talented running back who is just, frankly, suffering behind Dalvin Cook. If the Jets made one mistake this offseason, other than addressing their offensive line, they didn't need Dalvin Cook. Michael Carter II probably would have been a better second running back. Chachi Wade, I'd go Love. Chachi Wade, I'd go Love. Jordan Love has just too favorable a matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. I got to go with that one. Guys, we have hit 2,000 likes because you guys are the best possible supporters of the show. Because of that, we are going to give out a college football pick. We're going to give out picks every 2,000 likes. And every time we hit our live goal, we're going to give out some picks. Now, I'm going to give out a college football pick first, but I really want to get to my second pick because it's related to an NHL game that's going off strangely at 11 a.m. this morning. With that said, our first pick of the day is going to be Knicks, Hornets. I'm going under 225.5. Knicks, Hornets, under 225.5 is the first pick that we're giving out today. When we hit 4,000 likes or our live goal, we'll give out another pick. Texas Tech. Oh, I promised a college football pick. What am I doing? I gave out I'm just looking at the wrong section. Well, that's already on the board. You already have that one. I'm going to give this one out right now. I'm taking Michigan minus 18.5. I think Michigan's going to cover today against Maryland. I'm feeling really good about the Wolverines. I'm taking Michigan minus 18.5. They've now been through a week of the nonsense with Harbaugh. They've got Ohio State next week. I think they are trying to bludgeon the Terrapins today. I'll take Michigan to cover. Michigan minus 18.5. That said, I also want to encourage you guys. Michigan on the money line, folding that in with a lot of other plays. I did that today. I'm so heavy on Michigan on the money line that if they did get upset, it would totally crush my parlays. But that said, Michigan on the money line's like minus 1,000. Actually not as bad as it could be. So I folded that into a number of parlays. Mikey, is Singletary a must start? No, I wouldn't call him a must start. I think he's a very good start. But I think if you had two other options and wide receivers in the flex, I think you could sit him potentially. Josh, pick 2. Oh, I lost you, Josh. We'll have to pin you after. Nate, start 2. I'd start Dell and Breece Hall. Nate, I'd start Dell and Breece Hall. Thanks so much for the question. JRF, start Mostert or Montgomery? I would start Mostert. I think he's got a greater chance of having success against the Raiders' run defense as opposed to Montgomery against the Bears. Kike Isguap, I'd go Musgrave over Conklin. Musgrave over Conklin. JP, thoughts on Montgomery this week? The Bears are a top 3 run defense, guys. The Bears are a much better run defense, and you think that was even before they added Montez Sweat. He's just added to what is a really good good run defense. Pass defense, that's where the Bears are vulnerable. One of the reasons I like Gibbs is they use him in the passing game, where Montgomery is just pure running back, downhill runner. Unless he gets in the end zone, don't think he has a great day. Nawaf, Tank Dell, Aaron Jones, Garrett Wilson for the flex. Nawaf, I'd go Aaron Jones. Josh Waldrop, pick 2. I'd go Jacobs and Mostert. Josh, I'd go Jacobs and Mostert. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are, make sure you hit the follow button and make sure you subscribe. It is wonderful to have you guys with us every single day. Bounce it, Betty. I'm going to lean just slightly, I think, towards Stroud. Just barely. It's very close. Drew Hazard, I traded Hopkins and Cade Otton for Ridley and Ferguson. I'm okay with it. Cody, do it. Start 2. I'd start Rice and Collins. Cody, I'd start Rice and Collins. Thanks so much for the question. Brant C, 1, 2, 3. I'd go Kyler Murray. Brant C, 1, 2, 3. I'd go Kyler Murray. Is Taysom Hill a good tight end rest of season? I think so, but just the problem with Taysom Hill is the consistency at times is there and then gone. Like he'll have a game where he just doesn't get used in the play calling like we expect. So I think he is, but it is a bit risk. Billy Cooper, I'd go Wilson. Simply because Madison has that injury. Wilson played pretty well against the Bills earlier this year. Brown or Rice? Bounce it, Betty, I'd go Rice. Brandon Castillo, Gibbs and Higgins for Bijan, Laporta, and Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I like the trade. Brandon Castillo, I like the trade. Booty Balla, would you like Kupp for Waddle and Baker? Yeah, I don't love the Baker part. I'd rather have somebody else than Baker. I don't really need the running back if I were you. I'd look for something else unless you need the QB. Cold Dew, Tank Dell or D-Hop. Cold Dew, I do D-Hop, and I'd go Goff. Cold Dew, I do D-Hop and Goff. Thanks for the question. Anton, thanks for the paper crane, Anton. Carter, I'd go Rashee Rice. Carter, I would go with Rashee Rice. Thanks so much, Anton. Pookie Big. Pookie Big, I don't like that trade. Pookie Big, I actually don't like that trade. I think Hollywood Brown could actually end up being... I like the 2-for-1, but I don't know what Amari Cooper's value is going to be. Pookie Big, if you wanted to do it just to get depth, I'm okay with it, but... Travis Westover, I'd go Howell. Travis Westover, I'd go with Howell. Joshua, I'd go Metcalf. Joshua, I think I'd go Metcalf. Click, which one? Diggs and Singletary for Breece Hall and DK. I think I'd rather have Diggs and Singletary. Diggs and Singletary. No, I don't like either one of those trades. Click, I don't like either one of them. I snip. I'm going to lean just slightly, I think, towards James Cook. I snip James Cook. CPS, should I trade Chase for Mostert and Evans? Yes. CPs, yes, I would make that trade. Zach, Devontae, and Christian McCaffrey for DJ and Eckler. Deontay Johnson. Guys, please do me the favor and write out names. For me trying to decrypt something just slows things down. Brett Diamond, Rashee Rice. Brett Diamond, I'd go Rashee Rice. Antonio Montez, help. Dynasty trade Pacheco and Pickens for Achan. Ooh. See, I kind of like it. I kind of like it, Antonio. The only problem is I like Pacheco next year as well. That said, I do like getting Achan for next year. Hope you're having... I don't know if I've ever been called the Fantasy King, but I certainly appreciate the kind words. When we hit 4,000 likes, we're going to give out another game pick today, guys. 4,000 likes, another game pick, so tap that screen. Booty Balla, I traded Singletary for Saquon, good or bad? I think it's kind of I think it's a good trade when Dameon Pierce comes back. Drew Hazard, pick 2. I'd go Collins and Ridley. Drew Hazard, I'd go Collins and Ridley. Raymond, I'd go Schultz. Raymond, I'd go Schultz just barely. Very close between the two. Don't necessarily think you can go wrong with either one, but I'll lean towards Schultz just barely. Start 1, Herbert, Ferguson, or Cooks. Probably be Ferguson. Brent, for flex, I want to start Chandler, but Madison may play. I'd still go with, if I'm going to go with either running back, I'd go with Chandler. And I don't like Pacheco, so I'd rather start the Minnesota running back over Pacheco. You're right on that. Joshua, Singletary, Chandler, Derrick Henry, or Kupp at the flex. It'd probably be Singletary. Joshua, it'd probably be Singletary just barely. Texas Tejano, is A.J. Brown a top 3 wide receiver? Not necessarily this week, but certainly rest of season for the entire year. Yeah, we're going to put A.J. Brown right there with Tyreek Hill and probably CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has really been a top 3 wide receiver so far this year as well. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We just hit 4,000 likes, so we have some picks to give out. Appreciate the crown. Thanks so much, D. Turner. Zeta, great to see you again. We are going to give out a NHL pick right now, guys. I promised you guys I would give out this pick. This is an early game. This game, the puck drops at 11 o'clock a.m. Very early one. So I'm going to give out a bunch of picks for this early NHL game to say thank you for you guys supporting the show. The first couple of picks on this one, I'm taking Wild and the Senators Wild and Senators over 5.5. Minnesota Wild, Ottawa Senators, puck drop in about 40 minutes. I like the over 5.5. Over 5.5 on that one, okay? So Wild Senators over 5.5. I also do like Wild on the money line. I like the Wild on the money line. But I also like the Wild plus 1.5. Put this into some parlays. I did this a lot today. For example, Michigan on the money line, Wild plus 1.5. Maybe throw in some of the other money line picks that we're going to give out during the show. Put a parlay together that goes from a heavy negative number to maybe even plus money. That's what we're looking for. So I just gave you 3 NHL picks all related to the same game. Wild Senators over 5.5. Wild on the money line. Those two should be individual bets. I wouldn't necessarily parlay those, but Wild plus 1.5, Wild to cover. Put that into a 2, 3, 4 leg parlay. Nice way of bringing the odds down. Great to have you guys with us. We're going to give out picks when we hit our live goal and when we hit 6,000 likes, guys. At 6,000 likes or at our live goal, we'll give out more picks. Cameron, pick 2. I'd go Robinson and Connor. Cameron, I'd go Robinson and Connor. I like David Montgomery, but not this week. Just not a good matchup this week, so I'm fading him. Hopefully I'm right on that one. Click, Dak and Olave for JJ. Interesting idea. Click, I actually don't have a problem with it. As long as you have another quarterback to fill in for Dak, I think you're trading Dak at actually a good time. Thielen and Cup for CeeDee Lamb. Yes, yes, yes. Booty Balla, yes, I would. Joshua, is Ayuk a must start? Pretty much. I love Ayuk this week. I think Debo is a must start, but I think Ayuk is on that probably must start category. Drew Hazard, trade Kamara for Laporta and Saquon Barkley. Drew, I like that trade actually. Only concern about Saquon is do they shut him down at any point? It is in the back of my mind. D. Turner, Achan or Henry? I'd go Achan this week. D. Turner, I'd go Achan and Murray. Achan, Murray, Howell, and Goff. D. Turner, I'll say it one more time to make sure you heard all of them. Achan, it was Achan, Goff. I forgot the other ones. We took it. It came down a bit too fast. Moderators, don't worry about pulling them down. I'll take the X and I'll pull them down. Just throw them up when you see them. Gabe, I'd go with C.J. Stroud. D. Turner, thanks so much for the confetti. Joshua, trade Addison for McBride. If you need the tight end, okay. But I like holding on to Addison right now. Pick 2, Swift, Saquon, Jones, or Singletary. I'd go Jones and Singletary. Pick 2 between Swift, Saquon, Jones, and Singletary. I think I go Jones and Singletary. It's tough because I could see Saquon having a good game. I also think that the Commanders are going to load the box. You know what? I'm going to switch that one. I'll go Saquon and Jones. I'll trust the fact that Cardinals will be better against the run. It'll be the passing game where Stroud has success. I'll go Saquon and Jones. Carter, pick 2. It would be Debo and DJ Moore. Thanks so much, D. Turner. Who should I start, Singletary or Javonte Williams? Thanks so much for saying you love the content. Tricky one for me. Minnesota is actually the better run defense. I'll go Singletary just barely. Marshall Landis, trade Walker for Swift. I'd be okay with it. Charbonnet's value is increased. I'm okay with the trade. The only problem is Walker seems to get the touchdowns, maybe not the yardage. The reverse is the case for Swift. Who do I trade Chase for? Open-ended question, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But maybe look for a team that needs a wide receiver and make a deal with them. Start Ayuk or Devontae Smith. Julio Ramirez, I'd go with Ayuk. Julio Ramirez, I'd go with Ayuk. Cure, I'd go Nico Collins. Squalls, trade Gus, Zach Wilson for Kyler Murray. Ooh, I don't know if I do it right now, only because Gus Edwards has value. He's been getting touchdowns. I don't know if I'd give him up right now. Oh, you have Etienne and Eckler. Okay. I get it now. Yeah, I'd be okay with it. Saul, great to see you. Can you pick 2 to start this week? Of course. I would go... Ooh, tricky. Saul, I'd go Achan and Kirk. The problem is I really like Laporta as well, Saul. That is a tricky one. I like all 3. The problem I have is I'm saying Achan because of what I saw in the past, but... You know how I feel about players coming off IR. There's a part of me that wants to say Laporta and Kirk. Kirk's the one I would definitely start no matter what. Kirk's the lock it in. But it's between Achan and Laporta for me. Tricky. I'll lean towards Achan, but I wish you could start all 3 of them. D. Turner, thanks so much for the condiments. Those guys are having a party. Lil Sledge, Swift and Achan. FS? For the start, or... Lil Sledge, I don't understand what the FS is. Sorry. Bryce, Tua, Purdy, or Hal? Purdy. Love Purdy this week. D. Turner, I traded Debo for Olave. Sorry, buddy. Debo's the better own right now. Sorry. Mrs. Lady, Achan or James Cook? Great question. I'm going to lean towards Achan. I think barely, but it's close. James Cook performed well last week. Jets are not a good run defense. I can understand starting James Cook, but... I'm going to go with Achan. The matchup against the Raiders is also good. I think Achan does break through. I'll go Achan just barely. Fishy Fish. Gibbs has been going crazy, but be wary. The Chicago Bears are a good run defense. He's going to need to get his yardage in the passing game. Maybe a player prop bet that we should look at. I'm not saying bet it. I'm just saying maybe we should do our research on it. Is Jahmyr Gibbs over his receiving yards? Because I don't think he'll get it in the running game, but his receiving yards total, that might be the right play. Zeta Vino, thanks so much for joining us today, Zeta. Start 2. I'd start Dell and Waddle. I'm a little shaky on Cup. I have no doubt that Cup could have a good game, but the reason I'm not on Cup is I like the cornerbacks of the Seahawks and Stafford coming back. Maybe there's a little rust there. Obviously, there's a good connection between the two, but I think I'd rather have Dell and Waddle. Those would be the two I'd rather have, Zeta. TikToker, Thielen or Godwin? Ooh, I'd go Godwin. Thielen, a brutal matchup this week against the Cowboys. Gibbs or Achan? I'd go Achan. D-Champ, I think Achan doesn't get a lot of touches, being that they play Friday. Interesting. I was not taking into account the Black Friday, in part because I don't think they're thinking that way, to be honest. I think you're actually giving more thought to it necessarily than the Dolphins. I don't think teams think that way. I think teams are trying to win this week. I think teams understand that if they start to plan ahead, they lose. Now, you want to do that in college, maybe you can get away with it. I actually don't think teams go, you know what, we're going to save the player this week so we can play him more next week, or because we have a short week next week. I don't think that plays as much of a factor as us fans think it does. I think these coaches go, we need to win this game, and we need to do everything we can to win. So I actually think they push more of their chips into the middle of the table than we actually think. By the way, that's just my take on it, so who knows? Jordan Johnson, Collins, Rice, or DJ Moore. Really tough one, Jordan. I like all three this week. Wow. That is, I got to give you credit. That's got to be one of the toughest questions that we've gotten all day so far. If I had to go with any of them, I'm going to lean just slightly towards DJ Moore. And I'll tell you why. Rashee Rice, even though he may be wide receiver one, Travis Kelce is still the number one receiving target on that team. DJ Moore's the number one receiver on the Bears. Bears, they've got a decent matchup against the Lions team that does give up a lot of passing yards. Rice has a better matchup against the Eagles, but Slay will probably be on Rice. I'm going to say DJ Moore. I like Nico Collins as well. I wish you could start all three, to be honest. David Paley, St. Brown, and Murray for Jefferson and Stafford. No. I'd rather have St. Brown and Murray by a very wide margin. Derg, start three. Kirk, Debo Samuel, and I'd go Rashee Rice. Dirk, I'd go Kirk, Debo Samuel, and Rice. By the way, guys, thanks so much for that gift. Oh my God, have I been struggling or what? We are almost at 8,000 likes, and I am failing you guys hard. I have not given you guys picks. Shame on me. I am so sorry. I owe you guys 2 picks right now. I owe you guys 3 picks. We've hit our live goal. We hit 8,000 likes. I owe you guys 3 picks right now. Forgive me. I am so sorry. Let me get back to doing the hard work for you guys. Forgive me for making that mistake. Okay, guys. Going to give out 3 college football picks right now. 3 college football picks coming your way. I will give you Georgia on the money line. Georgia on the money line against Tennessee. I'm also going to double down on this one. I'm going to take Georgia minus 9.5. If you guys wanted to take Georgia and put it into some parlays, I would encourage that. For those watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, when you guys see this symbol, it means I'd encourage this to be a leg of a parlay. So that way you guys know what that means. So Georgia money line is a parlay leg, and Georgia minus 9.5. I think Georgia's going to cover against Tennessee, actually. Let me give out a few more picks for you guys. I'm also going to take Rutgers and Penn State under 43.5. That's Rutgers and Penn State under 43.5. Also, I'm going to give out a couple best bets for you today. This is my SHARPZ play of the day. We'll give out a couple. We'll give out another one for the NBA in a minute as well. But guys, Penn State on the money line. Penn State on the money line against Rutgers. Really like this one. Think Penn State gets the big win in a bounce-back game. So James Franklin, I still think he's playing for things this year. Penn State money line. That is one of my favorite plays of the day. I folded it into a lot of parlays. By the way, thank you for the rhythmic panda. What the heck was that? Oh man, thanks so much for the breakdancing panda. Unbelievable. That said, guys, we're giving out picks. I'm going to get back to your fantasy questions in 1 second, but I'm giving out picks for you guys. I just gave out Georgia money line, Georgia minus 9.5. Rutgers, Penn State under 43.5. Penn State on the money line is one of my sharps plays of the day. And I am also going to give out to you guys one more just to say thank you. I'll also throw Notre Dame on the money line up on the board. Notre Dame on the money line up on the board. Again, if you guys want every bet that I make every day, make sure that you DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram if you want every bet that I make every day. I give away all of my picks for free on the SHARPZ app. All you have to do is be on the SHARPZ app. If you're not already, DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. I'll give you the link and the referral code. You can see every bet that I make every day, the ones I've already placed and the ones I'm going to place this afternoon. When we finish our show in about an hour, what am I going to do? Research on the NFL, NBA, and NHL. I'm just going to be looking up player prop bets for the rest of the afternoon. So if you want every bet that I make prior to the show, during the show, after the show, they are all available on the SHARPZ app. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram. Thanks so much, Damian Skyberg. Thank you, Jordan. You guys are showing a lot of love today, and I'm so grateful for it. With that said, let's get back to answering your fantasy questions. Joe, I'd go Rice. Joe, I'd go Rice. Darius, I'd go Godwin. Darius, I'd go with Godwin. Pacheco just has a really tough matchup this week. The reason why I'm not going with him, though I am a very big fan of Pacheco most weeks. Nicholas, I'd go D-Hop. Nicholas, I'd go D-Hop. Ray Gamer, I just got Eckler as my new RB1. Nice job, Ray Gamer. Great job with that trade, Ray Gamer. Burner account, I like Jones if he's healthy. If healthy, I agree with Jones as well. Joshua, Swift, Henry, or Chandler this week? Ooh, I actually think Chandler might be the best matchup, actually. Chandler might be the best play. Booty Balla, I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think. Bryce, I'd go Rice over Chandler. Rice over Chandler. Josh Waldrip, thoughts on me starting Stroud over Mahomes? It would be a mistake. Mahomes is going to have a good game. This is a great matchup for Mahomes against a bad secondary. He's coming off a bye. I don't know if you guys know, but Andy Reid off a bye week is as good a bet as there is in the NFL. I love Patrick Mahomes this week. Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff are my two favorite quarterbacks this week. Hard to tell which one I like more. Might be Mahomes. Damian Skyberg, pick one in the flex, please. No problem. Connor Montgomery. Oh, easy. Nico Collins. Damian Skyberg, I'd absolutely go Nico Collins. He has the best matchup. Coming off the injury, maybe there's a little concern. Obviously, make sure he's a full go. But if he is, Nico Collins is the one I like the most, Damian. Thanks so much for being with us. Great to see your familiar handle in the chat. James Wolf, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Kamara in a half PPR? Well, easy for me to answer this one. Kamara's on a bye week, so it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was a bit of an easy one, though. Thanks for the layup. Big Trev, trade Amari for Thielen. No, I wouldn't do that, actually. I think Amari still has more value than Thielen. Mason, Chandler, Pollard, or Jones? Very, very close. I'm going to lean maybe just slightly towards Pollard, believe it or not. He's got a great matchup. I'm going to lean towards Pollard. Cade Blaylock, trade Hill and Davis for Evans and Rondale Moore. Cade, I'm on the fence. I'm okay with it because Gabe Davis is so inconsistent, but I don't have a great feel on Rondale Moore's value. So Cade, it's okay, but probably not one I'd go with. Majomes, do I like Oregon State against Washington? No, I think Washington gets the win today. Randy Stacy, pick two. In the flex, I'd go Jones and Dell, I think, Randy. It's close with Waddle there, but I'd go Jones and Dell. Very close for me. Damian Skyberg, thanks for single-handedly getting us up to our live goal or pretty close to it. Really appreciate you supporting the show the way you do. We have just hit our live goal, which means we're going to give out another pick. When we hit 10,000 likes, I'm going to give another SHARPZ play of the day. So at 10,000 likes, another bet coming your way. I'm going to give out... We're just about to hit it, so I might as well give that out as well. I'm going to give out two NBA picks right now, guys. Two NBA picks. One, right now, is going to be Thunder on the money line, guys. Thunder on the money line. First of all, Thunder playing good basketball. Second of all, Golden State Warriors are in struggle city right now. Thunder on the money line is a bet I actually really like. That's another one we put on the board. And because we hit 10,000 likes, every time we hit 10,000 likes in our show, we give out our Sharps play of the day. That's our favorite bet of the day, regardless of sport, type of bet, doesn't matter what it is. We've already given out Penn State on the money line as one of them. This is my other Sharps play of the day. I'm folding this one into almost every parlay that I'm doing. Knock on wood, hopefully it works out. I am taking the Heat on the money line. Miami Heat on the money line. That is my Sharps play of the day, one of my favorite bets of the day, regardless of any sport. If you want every bet I make every day, DM me on Instagram. Trinidad, Burrow down, best QB available. This week it's probably Russ, but rest of season it might be Dobbs. But this week I might go Russ, and I'd see who else is available for following weeks. Thanks so much for the question. Great to have you guys with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you are, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe no matter the platform. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick. Hit the follow button. Make sure you're a member of the best community of sports fans across all of social media. I am live every single day. There is not one day of 2023 I'm not live. We are live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. I will be live multiple times today. Probably around 4:30 we'll do a show. We will do a night show later tonight for subscribers on TikTok. So we will have a lot of content, a lot of live shows today. And we have our show tomorrow at 10 a.m. So make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe, because we have a lot of content, a lot of conversation, a lot of advice and picks to give out over the next 24 hours. Caden, pick 2. I'd go Chandler and Ridley, I think, but that's tricky. Between Chandler and Montgomery, tricky. But I think I'd go Chandler and Ridley. Ben, start 2. I'd go Dell and Breece Hall. Ben, I'd go Dell and Breece Hall. Emerson, Cardinals or Texans? Really good question. I have not looked into that game, actually, from a game pick perspective. Yeah. Of the NFL games that I actually have set aside, picks-wise, haven't done that game yet. Emerson, I'm going to do that one later this afternoon. I'll do my research on it and get back to you. ID Maggio, Kirk or Ayuk? Oh, man, tricky. I think I'll say Kirk, but I don't like ID Maggio. I wish you could start both. I like both of them this week. Like them both a lot. Just setting a new live goal and getting back to your fantasy questions. Baldy, what are the odds of the Yankees trading for Soto? Very, very high right now. If there is anything that I think could happen this offseason that would be both shocking and not all at the same time, it would be Juan Soto to the Yankees. They have the farm system assets to go trade for him. The Padres have made it clear their effort to go win a championship last year failed, and now they want to take some of the money off the books. I think Juan Soto could absolutely get moved, and there really is only one destination that makes sense. It is the New York Yankees. I can't see him being traded inside the division. That knocks out the Giants and knocks out the Dodgers. I think the Cubs are more invested in going after Ohtani than making a trade for Soto. I also don't think the Padres want to trade to a National League team. Really increases the likelihood that he goes to the Yankees. And by the way, given that the Martian, Jason Dominguez, is out with that elbow injury, unfortunately, they do need someone in the outfield, or otherwise, I don't think they would need him necessarily, but I think the Yankees should and very much could make that move. Where does Ohtani land? So if I had to say the place I think he lands from a betting perspective, it's the Dodgers. It's the smartest, safest, best odds bet. But if there was one team right now that I actually think would make the most sense, it's the Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox ownership has let it be known that they want to spend money this offseason. The last time I really heard about that, this ownership, when they do spend money, they do make big moves. And Ohtani would fit the Red Sox. Everybody thinks of Fenway Park being a right-handed hitter's park because the wall's in left. It's actually not. It's a left-handed hitter's park because you can wait on the fastball and go to the opposite field. Ohtani would make a ton of sense there. They have already a huge history, a long history of Japanese players playing there. That said, I don't think the Red Sox ultimately will get him. Maybe the best spot, I think the Dodgers will get him, unfortunately, for every other fan out there that's not a Dodgers fan. Chachi Wade, I'd go Nico Collins. Chachi Wade, I'd go Nico Collins. By the way, guys, if you do want rants, more than happy to give you guys rants. I'm back to disappointing. I'd go Sam Howell. I'm back. I'd go with Sam Howell. Joaquin, I'd go Terry. Joaquin, I'd go Scary Terry. Nick Molina, choose two. I'd go Jones and James Cook. Nick Molina, I'd go Jones and James Cook. Thanks for the question. Should I do Keenan Allen and Warren for Achane and Puka? The answer is no. The answer is no, in part because I would, if you could, I would try to do Jamar Chase and Warren. Jamar Chase and Warren, and okay, maybe you don't get Puka, but if you got Achane and something else, by the way, I kind of like Warren, so I don't love giving that up. Tronks, you're asking the same question someone else did just a little while ago. I haven't done my research on Cardinals, Houston, Texans yet. I actually have researched a bunch of the NFL games for tomorrow, but that's not one of them that I've looked at yet. I'm going to do my research after the show, dive into the stats and trends, and I'll have better analysis for you in our 4:30 show. Yo boy Alex, if Pollard doesn't show up against the Panthers, should I start to panic and try to trade him? Yes. If he's not delivering against the Panthers this weekend, I'll be concerned for sure. I traded Ferguson, Johnson, and Mostert for Adams and Dotson. Did I win? If you did, by a very small margin. I actually don't like the deal, Cole. Toby got offered Singletary and Chase for White and Olave. I don't hate it, actually. I don't hate it as much as you may think, because I think Chase retains a decent amount of value. The thing is, I like White a lot, so I wouldn't necessarily want to give him up, but Ray Gamer, Swift, Montgomery, rest of season. Probably Montgomery rest of season. And between Olave and Adams rest of season, it might be Adams. Very, very close. Hard to tell between the Olave and Adams rest of season, because who's the quarterback of the Saints? The reason I say Adams is I don't really know what the Saints situation is. Part of the reason I'm worried. Midwest Juice, I'd go Ferguson. Midwest Juice, I'd go Ferguson. It's not that Njoku couldn't have a good game. I just trust Ferguson a little bit more with how Dak's been playing. Burner account 3, I'd go Mostert for Puka, no. Montgomery for Jacobs, probably not. I'm probably good holding on to what I have. John, just lost Burrow. Should I trade Breece Hall for Ramondre, Garrett Wilson, and Fields? I don't hate the trade, actually. You're getting good return. I don't like giving up Breece Hall, but you're getting great return, John. So while I don't love the trade because I'm not a big Fields guy, you're getting plenty of value back. Yo boy Alex, what is the NFL trying to investigate with Burrow injury? Why is it serious that they add him to the injury report when he's able to play? Yo boy Alex, it's really important actually now. The NFL isn't just allowing people to bet on the sport. The NFL is investing in sports betting. The NFL is in bed with sports betting. And if I told you that there was a piece of information that could have impacted your decision to buy a stock, but one person had that piece of information and someone else didn't, that would be considered insider trading. The SEC would come down on those individuals. Think of sports betting just like stock trading. There is no difference between trading stocks and sports betting. It's both versions of gambling based on data and analytics. So, just like in stock trading, if someone knows something that the rest of the public doesn't, that is illegal. Same should be said in sports betting. If the team knows a piece of information and they do not give it out, that now has economic, financial implications that are greater than just, oh, he's hurt. This isn't about fantasy football. This is about sports betting. And because of the NFL's policy now about sports betting, they've made a 180 turn over the last decade. Because of that, they are responsible. They need to investigate this. Don't be surprised, by the way, if there are other parties that investigate this as well. Robert Gladstone, please pick two. I'd go with Cooper and Lockett. I really don't like Thielen's matchup tomorrow. John, Ferguson or Ingram? I'd probably go Ingram tomorrow, and I'd go Puka. Ingram and Puka. John, Ingram and Puka. Hunter Edwards, I've got Hollywood Brown in a 12-man dynasty league. I might hold on to him, actually. The reason I'd hold on to him, he's a wide receiver 1 on that team. Nice to just have a wide receiver 1 of his age. I understand that maybe he hasn't popped over the last few years like we'd liked, but I don't hate it. Especially, by the way, if they somehow got Caleb Williams. Cod, pick one. I'd go with Nico Collins. Cod, I'd go Nico Collins. Daniel Pipko, should I trade Lockett for Kincaid or Deontay Johnson for Kincaid? And would you do both trades? I'd probably trade Lockett for Kincaid. I know you say he's got a better schedule, but he also has a lot more weapons around him in the receiving game. Deontay Johnson is the -- target for Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett throws to Johnson more than he throws to Pickens or anybody else. Meanwhile, Lockett, it's just a tough one. There are other players that Geno Smith goes to. Sully 105, I'd go DJ Moore and I'd go James Cook. Sully 105, I'd go Moore and James Cook. Thanks so much for saying you love the content. We really appreciate it. Guys, I owe you a bunch more picks. I owe you 2 more picks, so let's get those up on the board. While I do so, Scott Sire, I'd go Love. Scott Sire, I'd go Love simply because Jordan Love has such a good matchup this week. Guys, I'm going to give you guys 2 more college football picks. 2 more college football picks coming your way. I'm going to take Missouri on the money line. I know they're coming off a big win. Maybe that's a bit of a trap game afterwards, but I don't think so. I think they'll take Florida pretty seriously. I like Missouri Tigers on the money line. And speaking of that game, I'm going Florida, Missouri under 60.5. That's Missouri on the money line and Florida, Missouri under 60.5. 2 more picks for you guys. I'll give out 1 more right now just because I love you guys, and I'm going to say thank you for you guys being awesome. Maybe a bit chalky on this one, though. Yeah, chalky one coming your way. Ohio State on the money line. Don't forget about it. Fold it into some parlays. But guys, Ohio State ain't losing this week. Ohio State is going to win because they want to set up the Michigan-Ohio State game. I am believing in Michigan winning. I'm believing in Ohio State winning. Just book it. Book it. Fold into some parlays with other bets that you like today. Andres, David Montgomery, and Nico Collins for Rashad Wright and Olave. I don't like the trade, actually. I'd hold on to Montgomery and Nico Collins, believe it or not. Brandon, should I start Justin Jefferson over Puka this week? That's tricky. I don't think so, and the reason I say it is because Patrick Surtain II on Jefferson, coming off the injury, just too many things I don't like necessarily. Austin, I'd go Purdy over Dobbs. Austin, I'd go Purdy over Dobbs. Really big on Brock Purdy this week. Bear Wiggy, McBride, or Devontae Smith. Really tricky one. I'd probably go Devontae Smith. It's very close, but I might go Devontae Smith. Do you think Hill is a good replacement at tight end for Andrews? Yes. The only issue I have is there's always 1 game out of 4 where he's just not utilized the same in the play calling. But overall, I do think he's a good replacement at the tight end position. Majomes. Bosa over half a sack on Mayfield. Oh, yeah, the Ohio State, Oklahoma. I forgot about that. Majomes, great call on that. I'll have to keep an eye on it. By the way, Chase Young, those 2 Buckeyes are very aware of that. Bear Wiggy, I'd go Devontae Smith. Bear Wiggy, I'd go Devontae Smith. Should I start Pacheco or Madison if he plays? John Tosh, Pacheco's the better matchup. So if Madison Madison has the better matchup. If Madison somehow plays, I'd go with him, but not big on it. Yo boy Alex, should the NFL ban the hip drop tackle? Really hard. Like, the answer is of course they should, but it continues this trend of where do we go to until we're just playing flag football? Like, should it be banned? It's a dangerous play that creates a lot of, ankle injuries, broken legs. It's a very dangerous way of making a tackle, and yet at the same time, how are you supposed to tackle some of these guys? It's a 230-pound running back who's got frickin' the strength of a truck just throwing you, and you're not allowed to tackle him in any way possible. The answer is, I don't know what to do on that. I feel stronger about, the sports betting topic and investigating that than I do actually about the banning of the hip drop. The only reason that I got on Logan Wilson for his tackles is it was like, damn, every tackle this dude makes, he's injuring a star player on the Ravens. That was suspicious to me. The hip drop tackle is just tough to get out of the league, though. Ant, Allen or Stroud? I'd go Stroud. Allen has struggled over the last few seasons against the Jets. I'd go with Stroud. Henderson or Gabe Davis in my flex? I'd go Henderson. Nate, Puka or Montgomery? I'm going to lean towards Puka, I think, just barely. Don't feel great about that, but the Bears' run defense has been so good. I understand it could be a revenge game for Montgomery. Don't feel great about this pick, Nate, but I'll lean Puka just barely. Coin flip for me, though. Don't feel good about it. Kirk's Munch. What do you think of Aaron Jones this week? I like him. I'm starting him in a lot of my lineups. That Hot Wheels Hunter. I do like Chandler this week. Is JJ playing? Still waiting on word, JC. Andy N. I'd go Rice just barely over Laporta. I like both of them, but I'll go Rice just barely. It's too good a matchup for me. Hunter Edwards, should I keep Marvin Jones in a dynasty? No, Marvin Jones isn't someone I value in a dynasty league. If you guys have any questions, fire away across YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick. No matter the platform, we are here. We have been live for just short of an hour, and we have another hour to go. So make sure you guys are putting in your questions. We will continue to give out picks. We'll give out a pick right now because we just hit 16,000 likes, actually. Okay, we are going to give out another pick for hitting 16,000 likes. Next pick I'm going to give out is Iowa on the money line, guys. Iowa on the money line. I know a lot of you guys are looking towards that Iowa under, but for this one, I'm also taking Iowa on the money line. Again, if any of you guys want all of my bets every day, DM me on Instagram right now. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me right now. I give away all of my picks for free. All you have to do is DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, the name of my company, Butt Fumble Sports. DM us. I'll share a link and a referral code with you so you can see every bet I make. That way you don't have to wait for me to give them out individually, or you could see the bets that I make when I'm not on the air, and that way you could stay ahead of the game. I'm not saying you should tail them, you can fade them, but at least you know every bet I make every day when you follow me on the SHARPZ app. So DM me right now so you guys can get every bet that I make every single day. Mando, trade Swift and Pittman, receive Kamara. I don't like that trade, actually. I don't think I'd go with it. Believe it or not, I'm not as high on it. Yo, boy, Alex, Dameon Pierce is officially out. I do like Singletary now. He's a good start, but he was before. Daniel, do you think Logan Wilson is a dirty player? I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he played dirty on Monday night. I'll say it that way. Do I think he's a dirty player? No, because I haven't heard a history of him making dirty plays. But do I think he was playing dirty on Monday night? I don't know how you say he couldn't. Every tackle he had on a big star player, the player came up injured. I mean, the one actually that struck me the most was the play on, one, Lamar Jackson, where he kind of yanked him at the end. And then, two, I felt like he knew he was driving Odell Beckham into the ground on his shoulder. So, do I think he's a dirty player? No, but I think his performance Monday night would be classified as dirty. Xavier Boss, I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson, believe it or not. I'm going to go Wilson maybe just barely. Bird, CeeDee Lamb has been a top 5 fantasy wide receiver this year. I actually got to give CeeDee Lamb a lot of credit. There were a lot of people coming into this season who thought that CeeDee Lamb was a little bit overhyped. You know what? He has delivered this year. He is absolutely living up to the hype that he had coming out of Oklahoma. CeeDee Lamb, top 5 wide receiver. You could argue a top 3 wide receiver along with Tyreek and A.J. Brown. Jordy, I meant Thursday night. You're right. I'm confused. Yeah, Thursday night, not Monday night. In his Thursday night performance. Jordy, you're on it. Thanks so much. Noah, I'd go Singletary. But, guys, I want to make sure you guys hear this. If you have Najee Harris, sorry, you're wrong. I'm just not a Najee Harris guy. So if it's between Najee Harris and almost anyone else, I'll take almost anybody else. Tommy, Evans or Tank Dell? Tommy, I'd go Tank Dell. Metcalf and Waddle for Cup. Harrison, no. Bad trade. Harrison, I'd rather have Metcalf and Waddle. Kale Weaver, I'd go Deontay Johnson, I think just barely. Him, Blackie, I'd go Murray. Mason, I'd go Tank Dell. James, Bucker and Olave for Ford and McBride. Who's Bucker? I don't know who Bucker is, but I like the Ford and McBride side, though. Steelers under 33. Good question. Okay, getting into this NFL a little bit. So I'm going to give out my favorite bets, BBQCN. Thank you so much for bringing this up. So I actually put out a newsletter every Sunday morning with my favorite NFL bets. my favorite NFL game picks, my favorite NFL player prop bets. Those are all in the newsletter. If you want that newsletter, you can sign up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. Are the Steelers on that? Maybe. Steelers under? Maybe. But it'll be in my newsletter, buttfumblesports.com. Go sign up for the free newsletter. My favorite NFL picks in your inbox at 6 a.m. tomorrow. 6 a.m. tomorrow. All you got to do is sign up for our free newsletter on our website, buttfumblesports.com. If you're watching on TikTok, there's a link in our bio. So hit the link in the bio. Takes you right to the website. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll have my favorite NFL game picks, my favorite NFL player prop bets, and the DFS lineup that I am playing tomorrow in your inbox at 6 a.m. Guarantee you it's worth it because it's free. So if it's free, all I got to do is cash one ticket to make it worth your while. Squalls have Etienne and Eckler trade Warren and Wilson for Murray. No, I wouldn't actually. Nate, Debo or DK? Nate, it's Debo. Nate, I'd go Debo. Ram Bam, need a running back. Trade Moore for James Conner. I think you could get more. I think Moore deserves greater value in exchange. Cameron, Chase and Edwards for Jacobs and Kittle. Yes, yes, yes. Cameron, I think I would do that deal. Jordy, Cooks or Deontay Johnson. Jordy, I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. Jordy, Deontay Johnson. Midwest Juice, I'd go Howell. Midwest Juice, I'd go Howell. Daniel Pipko, how do you feel about Najee Harris in a dynasty? I don't want him on a dynasty. I don't want him this year. I don't want him in Madden. I don't want Najee Harris at all. I don't think Najee Harris has value. Jalen Warren took over that RB1 spot. It tells you Najee Harris's value and future with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'd go Singletary. I'd go Singletary. Chambo, Hurts or Howell? Great question. Wow. Chambo, I'm going to go Hurts just barely, but I don't feel good about that. I really like Sam Howell this week, but I'll go Hurts just barely, just because I think the brotherly shove ultimately gets me enough points there, but it's close. Do I start Montgomery or Pollard? Ruben Garcia, I'd start Pollard. Ruben Garcia, I'd start Pollard. Ethan, pick 2 for flex and wide receiver slot. I would go McLaurin and Mostert. Ethan, I'd go McLaurin and Mostert. DIR, I'd go wow. DIR, I can only pick one. I'd go Hill. DIR, I'd go Hill if I can only pick one. Trenton Elliott, I'd go Hopkins. Trenton Elliott, I'd go Hopkins. Jordy, you know I'm feeling that way. Rez, Dak or Tua? Great question. Rez, that's a tough one for me right now. Rez, I'll go Dak. Rez, I'll go Dak just barely. I don't love it, but I'll go Dak just by a... Nah, I take it back. I take it back. I'm going to go Tua. That's a tough one. Tua or Dak is a coin flip for me. That's the ultimate coin flip. I'll go Tua. Carter 22. Diggs for Kamara and Evans. I'd actually be okay with it. Carter 22, that's enough value. Burner account 3. Achan, floor and ceiling. Well, his floor could be really low just because they may not use him a lot. So his floor could be as low as 2 points, 3 points. His ceiling, hey man, the dude has speed like nobody's business. If he gets out in the open field, I feel like his ceiling is closer to 15, maybe even high as 18 points. That's as high as his ceiling could be. Dre Sid, I need your help. Do I do this trade? I give Kelsey, Waddle, and Wilson, who are on my bench, for Lamb and Eckler. Yes, yes, yes. I actually like the trade. Yep. I like the trade. You could even ask for maybe one more player. That's how good a trade you have, because that person's clearly desperate. Ruben, let's go. Let's go, Ruben. Happy to hear it. Denny, start 3 and 1 for flex. I'd go Mostert, Saquon, Singletary, and Lockett. Pacheco would be the one I would sit. Pacheco would be the one I'd sit. Luka, I'd go Herbert. Luka, I'm going to go Herbert just barely, I think. It's very close, though. Dobbs or Mahomes? Brock, Mahomes by a mile. Mahomes by a mile. Most disappointing player this season so far for you? Yo, boy, Alex is asking a great question. Most disappointing player so far this year? I mean, Kyle Pitts is always in the running for that, like, no matter what. Most disappointing player this year? Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been the most disappointing player this year. Josh Allen, I thought, was going to make a leap forward. I thought the Bills, I thought the talk of their window being closed was premature. I think Josh Allen's been the biggest disappointment, in part because he's the same player that he's always been. There's been no maturation. I'll pull a Colin Cowherd in this analogy. If you ever watch like a movie or a TV show and a character has like no arc, they're the same they were in episode 1 as they were in the season finale, you go, man, that character kind of sucked. Like, they should have had an arc. They should have had some kind of maturation or evolution or development. That's what Josh Allen is. Josh Allen came into this league as a gunslinger who could get a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, but would make really bad decisions at times. He is the same player. He is so disappointing to me. Josh Allen's the most disappointing because I thought Josh Allen was going to make at least one step forward, take one step forward towards being an MVP caliber quarterback. Not only has he not taken that step, in many ways I think he's regressed. I think Josh Allen is not nearly as good a quarterback as I thought a year ago, so I'll say he's been the most disappointing in many ways. By the way, that's not a fantasy response. That's a like, who's the most disappointing just overall. Louis, Puka, Dell, or DJ Moore. I'd go DJ Moore. Louis, I'd go DJ Moore. Josh Rose, I'd go Brian Robinson. Josh Rose, I'd go Brian Robinson. Like them both, but Brian Robinson's just been performing too well. Bear Wiggy, I'd go Laporta. Bear Wiggy, I'd go Laporta over McBride. Majomes, Burrow, Watson, Cousins all played the Niners. R.I.P. Trevor Lawrence. Majomes, kind of an interesting take there. Kind of an interesting take that, like, the week after they get hurt. I didn't know that. Darren, 1, 2, 3. Jones, Williams, Singletary, Achan, pick 2. I'd go Jones, and I'm going to lean just slightly, I think, towards Achan over Singletary. Very, very close. No, I'll go Singletary. Darren, I'll go Jones and Singletary just barely. The Raiders are a bad run defense, but Achan's going to be splitting touches with Mostert. I'll go Jones and Singletary. Zerk, PhD, I'd go Rice. Zerk, PhD, I'd go Rice. Tilly, I'd rather have Laporta. I'd rather have Laporta in the dynasty. Laporta's value is just too good. What is the value of Chase right now? We think he's a high-end wide receiver 2. Lawrence or Murray? I'd go Lawrence. Bear Wiggy, I'd go Lawrence. Braden, need a running back. Do I go with Henderson? I'd go Henderson. Braden, I'd go Henderson. Mrs. Lady, I'd go Goff. Mrs. Lady, I'd go Goff. Cali Kid, I'd go Stroud. Cali Kid, I'd go Stroud and Dell. Stroud and Dell, I think. Q Dot, I'd go McBride. Q Dot, I'd go McBride. B Rand traded Monty, Waddle, and Jacoby Myers for A.J. Brown and Rice. Love it. Love the trade. Do I like giving up Montgomery? No, but I like what you got back in exchange. Luke, James Cook or Deontay Johnson? Luke, I'd go James Cook. Luke, I'd go James Cook. Ryan Dewey's, Dell or Smith? I'm going to lean towards Dell just barely, I think. Very close, though. DIR, I'd go Dak. DIR, I'd go Dak, I think, just barely. Eddie Diesel, I'd go Mahomes. Love Mahomes this week, guys. If you got Mahomes, if you're not starting Mahomes this week, why do you have him? If you're not starting him in a week where he's playing a bottom 5 defense against the pass or a bottom 6 defense against the pass, why are you starting him? Eagles are 5th worst against the pass. They're allowing 257 pass yards this year. The Eagles are great against the run, terrible against the pass. If you're not starting Mahomes this week, trade him, because clearly there will not be a situation. Well, the only other matchup that's better than this is against the Chargers. Other than that, you can't get a better matchup for Mahomes this week. Andres, I'd go Ingram. Andres, I'd go Ingram, believe it or not. Tommy Barbetta, which players have the most upside? Oh, that's an open-ended question, Tommy. We're not getting into that. Aishan, Fields bounce back. Maybe from a passing standpoint, not a great matchup this week against the Lions, though. Good against the pass, as in good opportunity against the pass, but the way that they limit the run makes it harder on Fields. Trade Mahomes, Mostert, Madison for Henry, Debo, and Montgomery. Sure. Yes. I'm okay with it. Ant-Man, I'd go Pollard. Ant-Man, I'd go Pollard. BTT student, if I had to pick one, I'd go Waddle. BTT student, I think I'd go Waddle just barely. Darren 123, I'd go Mostert. Darren 123, I would go with Mostert. Guys, we have about 20 minutes left of the show. 20 minutes left of the show. Our Saturday shows go for about an hour and a half, 10 to about 11:30, because I actually like to watch College Game Days Pick'em section, or Pick'em segment, rather. I always like watching that, so I do hop off the air at around 11:30. I will be live later this afternoon between, let's say, 4 and 5 o'clock. It's not when I'll be there. I'll be live starting at like 4:30, something like that. We'll do another hour of answering fantasy questions, answering sports betting questions for tonight and for tomorrow. And additionally, we will do a subscriber-only show tonight. If you do subscribe on TikTok, we will do a show exclusively for you guys at around 10:30 tonight. So, we have about 20 minutes left of this show. We will do another show for everybody, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, a Kick, at around 4:30, and we will do a subscriber-only show on TikTok at around 10:30 tonight. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. That way you don't miss any of the content, any of our live shows, or any of the opportunities to join us every single day. By the way, for all of those who want my picks, I'll say it one more time. If you guys want every bet that I make every day, including the ones that I will make off the air, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram, just like Ant did. Ant, great to see you. Hit me up on Instagram. Ant just asked for all of my picks. He just got them. Tony Montana, he wants all of my picks. Tony Montana, thanks for DMing me. You just got every bet that I make every single day. If you guys want fantasy advice, we give it out during the live show. If you want my bets, make sure you DM me on Instagram. I'll give you a link and a referral code. They're free. You don't have to pay. We give them away for free. Ryan, should I trade Jamar? I'd hold on to him. I think I'd hold on to him. I'm feeling a little bit better about it now in the light of 2 days of thinking about it, or a day and a half. I think Jamar Chase is still a high-end wide receiver too. If you traded him, just make sure you're getting enough value back. But I think right now other owners are going to try to steal from you or trade rob you. So I'd be a little cautious to trade him right now, actually. Damian Skyberg offered Josh Allen and Puka for Dak and A.J. Brown. I kind of like the idea, but I think he'll be okay holding on to Dak. Do I think it's fair? No, I think you're totally trying to take advantage of him. But that said, I think he'd rather hold on to, if I were him, I'd hold on to Dak and Brown. Damian Skyberg, I love the idea, but I don't think you're going to get away with it. Justin Gonzalez, oh, wow. I'd go wow. Justin Gonzalez is asking JSN or Johnston. Great question, because Johnston's value is increased, but I'll go JSN. I'll go JSN just barely. BTT student, one for the flex, I'd go Lockett. BTT student, I'll go Lockett. Luke G, I'll go Rashad White. Luke G, I'll go Rashad White. Smalls, I'll go Kyler Murray. Smalls, I'll go Kyler Murray just barely. Jason, I'd go Singletary. Jason, I'd go Singletary. Brendan, I'd go Pollard and Jacobs. Brendan, Pollard and Jacobs. Danny Cutsforth, traded away Pollard for Swift today. Thoughts? Don't love it. I hope it works out for you, but I don't love it. Stuart Hoff, need 2. Jacobs and... I'll go Jacobs and Hall. I'll go Jacobs and Hall. Hall has a good enough matchup. Leo, 559. Allen, Etienne, Addison for Eckler, Ayuk, and Swift. Who won the trade? I think the Eckler, Ayuk, and Swift side won. I think the Eckler, Ayuk, and Swift side won just barely. Good trade, though. Very fair. Jonathan Bird, I'd go McBride. Jonathan Bird, I'd go McBride. It's the Jerry Show, 49ers or Eagles defense. Oh, 49ers. 49ers. It's the Jerry Show, 49ers. I'd also go Ty Chandler. It's the Jerry Show, Ty Chandler, and 49ers defense. BTT student, who should I keep or trade away? I'd keep Mostert, I'd trade away Cooper and Myers. I'd trade Myers first over all three of them. Luke G got one more. Okay, I'd go Rashee Rice. Luke G, easy one. I'd go Rashee Rice. D Graham 4, I'd go Brown. D Graham 4, I'm going to go Brown just barely, I think. Bevan, I'd go Garrett Wilson. Bevan, I'd go Garrett Wilson. Joshua, I'd go James Cook. Joshua, I'd go James Cook. Elvis, I'd go Stroud. Elvis, I'd go Stroud. Damian Skyberg, I'm going to go Mostert. Damian Skyberg, I'll go Mostert. Juan Rodriguez, traded for Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. Weirdly worded, Juan Rodriguez. I don't even understand that one. Will Sanders, I'd go Hollywood Brown. Will Sanders, I'd go Hollywood Brown. Drewy Gundy, I'd go Singletary. Drewy Gundy, I'd go Singletary. Cam, I'd go Dell. Cam, great to see you. I'd go Dell. Alex, I'd go DJ. Oh, rest of season? Probably rest of season, I'd go Metcalf. Majomes, I'd go Chiefs. Majomes, I'd go Bills defense. I don't love it, but I'll go Bills defense, just trusting that Zach Wilson, yeah. I'd rather go against Zach Wilson than go against Hurts, I think. Do I think Kelsey and Keenan Allen are in for big games? I think Travis Kelce is going to have a monster game. Travis Kelce should have a monster game. Taylor Swift's going to be in the building. Taylor Swift's parents are going to be in the building. And great matchup against the Eagles. I love Kelce this week. Don't feel the same about Keenan Allen. Your boy Alex, for the rest of season, do you like Cooks or OBJ? Oh, OBJ by a good distance. OBJ's been playing well. As long as that shoulder's okay, I like him. Is Lions defense a good play versus the Fields? It's okay, D. Graham. It's not great. It's not terrible. I think they'll get some sacks, but they might give up some passing yards as well. M. Nunez, I'd go Rice. M. Nunez, I'd go Rice. Coach Corey, I'd go Jalen Reed. Coach Corey, I'd go Jalen Reed. Alex, we got you. Joe Mama, I'd go Debo. Joe Mama, I'd go Debo. Edgar, do you think Achan and JJ will start? Achan, yes. JJ, I don't know yet. Jimmy, I'd go Ingram. Jimmy, I'd go Ingram. Cody Duet, I'd start Goff. Cody Duet, I'd start Goff. JL Sports Fan. JL Sports Fan, great to see you today. I'd go Nico Collins. JL Sports Fan, I'd go Nico Collins. Mario, I'd go Singletary. Mario, I'd go Singletary. Josh Keller, I'd go Schultz. Josh Keller, I'd go Schultz. Sean Walker, I'd go Browns defense. Hunter Edwards, thanks so much for resubscribing. We will have a subscriber-only show later tonight, guys. If you guys want to join us tonight for a subscriber-only show on TikTok, by the way, that show is a lot of personal attention, so you don't have to battle with the other 200 people that are asking questions. You get a lot of personal attention. I'll be on as long tonight as I need to be to get to everybody's questions. So guys, make sure you subscribe so you can join that show at around 10:30 tonight. We will do a 4 o'clock show for everybody, 4:30 for everybody, and we will do the subscriber-only show on TikTok at around 10:30 tonight. Uncle A, I'm going to go James Cook. Uncle A, I'll go James Cook, and I'll go Washington defense. C, I'll go Mostert. C, I'll go Mostert. Tyler, I'll go Kincaid. Tyler, I don't love the trade. Tyler, I don't love it, actually. Joe Mama, I'll go Murray. Joe Mama, I'll go Kyler Murray. Amori, oof. Amori, I'd do the trade. Amori, I don't love giving up Ridley. I don't really like it, to be honest, but if you had to, I get it. Especially if you need a quarterback this week. Benji Wilson, I'd go Evans. Benji Wilson, I'll go Evans. Dobbs or Hurts, I'd go Hurts. I'll go Jalen Hurts over Dobbs. Nate, is starting Goff over Allen crazy? Absolutely not. Goff should be starting over Allen. I prefer Goff over Allen. Rasheem, man, I'd go Goff over Allen, as you just asked that one. Jake, I trade Pittman, Waddle, and Nico Collins for A.J. Brown, McLaurin, and Hunt. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. I'm okay with it, Jake. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't hate it. Saul, traded for Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, gave up Etienne and Diggs. Was it fair? Yes, it was. Now I understand, Saul. Good trade. SD, I'd go Nico Collins. CV, I'd go Nico Collins. Zach Rhodes, I'd go Kyler Murray. Zach Rhodes, I'd go Kyler Murray. D-Graham, I'll go Lions. John, trade Olave for Myers and McBride. Yes, I'm okay with it. John, I'm okay with it because you need the tight end. Ashley Owings, choose two. I'd go Debo and Rice. Debo and Rice. Your boy Alex, what was your Super Bowl matchup in the beginning of the season? It was Bengals, Eagles, so obviously that Super Bowl prediction is down the drain. I was holding on to it, but the moment Joe Burrow went down, that was the end of that one. That was my preseason Super Bowl prediction, was Bengals, Eagles. Now, if I had to go with a Super Bowl prediction, I'd probably go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have such an easy path right now to the number one seed. And ever since the NFL changed the playoff structure so that there's only the number one seed gets a bye week, that is such a massive advantage to get a bye week. And the fact that there's only one team in each conference that gets it, I think that actually makes a massive difference. I think the Eagles will be the number one seed in the NFC. I think the Chiefs will be the number one seed in the AFC. And I think we're going to get a Super Bowl repeat. Do I think that's popular? No. I probably think a lot of you guys will probably say Chiefs, 49ers now. But frankly, I think that number one seed's way too valuable. The 49ers going on that losing streak probably means they can't get the number one seed now. Means they have no bye week and they have to travel to Philly for the playoff game. I'll take KC, Philadelphia. I don't like the rematch, but it's what we're going to get. Mark, I'd go Aaron Jones. Mark, I'd go Aaron Jones. CMMIS, I'd go Singletary. CMMIS, I'd go Singletary. BTT student, I wouldn't do that trade. BTT student, I wouldn't do it. Final few minutes of the show, guys. Final few minutes of the show. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you follow us so you get every bet that I make every single day. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. By the way, Art Moreno, you want every bet that I make every day? You just got the link and the referral code. Stuart Hoff, you want every bet that I make every day? Boom, you just got it. Alex, you want every pick that I make? Here you go, Alex. You guys DM me on Instagram for all of my bets. You guys get the link in the referral code. Use it to get the SHARPZ app. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. SHARPZ is not a sports book. It doesn't want your money. It wants to be like the Twitter of sports betting, so we can share picks. We can exchange them. It's like a bulletin board for sports betting, so we can see what each other are going with. So you can tail, you can comment, you can fade. I like it because during the summer, we did a celebrity shot contest where you guys made picks and we could exchange them. One of the things I like it is I could see the bets you make. You could see my picks, but I can also see, are you guys tailing my picks? Maybe you guys do your own research. A couple of you guys like Dante, who watches over on YouTube, he makes a lot of bets. I like seeing what picks he puts out. So if you guys want to see every bet I make and share picks of your own with the rest of the community, DM me on Instagram, get on the SHARPZ app. It is totally worth it. You'll see every bet that I make every day, on the air, off the air, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet. We give them out every single day for free. All you have to do is DM Butt Sports on Instagram. Mark, I'll go Dobbs over Fields. Dobbs over Fields. Dummy, man, Pluto. I'm 9-1. Traded Kittle and Singletary for Bijan. Really don't like that trade. I don't like it. I understand the Bijan playoffs part, but I'm not about it. Tem, Hopkins or Henderson. Tem Yalima, I'd go Hopkins. Tem Yalima, I'd go Hopkins. Brendan Miller, where do you have Jamar Chase ranked the rest of season? As a high-end wide receiver 2. High-end wide receiver 2, no longer a wide receiver 1. Pick 3, full PPR, I'd go Wilson, Collins, Robinson. Out of the 3 that were given to me by BYRX, I'd go Wilson, Collins, Robinson. Wilson, Collins, Robinson. Pat, I'd go Sutton and Reed. Pat, I'd go Sutton and Reed. Hunter, I'd go Achan. Hunter, I'd go Achan. Aiden Jameson, I'd go James Cook. Aiden Jameson, I'd go James Cook. Tony, I'll go Ayuk. Tony, I'll go Ayuk. Cam, traded Ford for Williams. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, it's not a bad deal, especially now with the injury to Deshaun Watson. Glup, I'd go Kittle. Glup, I'd rather have Kittle. I don't want Najee Harris. Joe, I have Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen. Should I look to trade away one of them? I mean, you're so overloaded on the Chargers that I don't think it's a bad idea. It would probably be trading away either Herbert or Keenan Allen simply because I don't want to give away Eckler. He's too valuable, but I don't like being on the Chargers offense that much. 1 week that they struggle, that's the end of your season. Amir, pick 2. I'd go Rashad White and Achane. Rashad White and Achane. Ryan, I'd go Nico Collins. Ryan, I'd go Nico Collins. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We have been live for about an hour and 25 minutes. We have about 5 minutes left of the show. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. King Croc, this is kind of a long one. Choose one for the tight end. I'd go Kittle. I'd go Kittle. And for your flex, I'd go with Devontae Smith. So Kittle and Smith. Kittle and Smith. Luka, I'd go... Wow. Tough. I'd go Rice and Scary Terry. Luka, I'll go Rice and Scary Terry. D. Graham, Christian McCaffrey is still going to have a great game against TB run defense. I think he gets in the end zone. I think he gets back in the end zone. So do I think that he honestly has a big game? No. Do I think he gets you enough fantasy points to be worth it? Sure. Your boy Alex is saying Ohtani to the Cubs. Trust. The one thing that I do like about that, Yu Darvish spoke up the Cubs when he was there to a number of Japanese players, put out some good PR relating to the Chicago experience. But I also think it works because the Cubs are desperate to make a move. They have some money. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But that said, I don't think Ohtani would actually succeed there. I do not think that Wrigley Field is actually a great place for him. Not a great ballpark overall for home run hitters. I know some people would say the wind, but that's only during the summer months. During the beginning and end of the year, that's not a great ballpark to hit him. Brendan, Mahomes or Dak? Mahomes. Brendan, Mahomes is a must-play this week. Cameron, I'd start Saquon. Cameron, I'll start Saquon just barely. Concerned Citizen, I'm okay with the trade. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's fair. Dakota, I'd go Singletary. Dakota B, I'd go Singletary. Justin, I'd go Sutton. Oh, no. Justin, do not do that deal. Justin, I'd rather have Sutton and Kincaid. Reed Hall, do I trade T. Higgins? Yes. Justice, I'd go Singletary. User 39, I'd go Rashid. I don't know what you're talking. Artisan or Rashid? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know. You got to rewrite that question because whatever it is, don't make sense. It don't make no sense. Nick Thomas, I'd go Pollard. Craig, I think I'd go Washington defense. The Giants give up way too many sacks for me not to do it. I'll go Washington defense. BTT student, you think it's worth trading Devontae? His playoff schedule looks pretty solid. All right, then hold on to him. Final minute of the show, everybody. Final minute of the show. Again, if you want all of my bets every single week, make sure you DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram, just like Russ Smith. Russ Smith just Instagram. Hit me up on Instagram, DM'd me. Thank you for saying you enjoy the content, Russ Smith. Really appreciate the kind words. So kind of you to say. Just gave you a link and a referral code so you can see every bet that I make every day. If you guys want to see every bet I make, regardless of sport, type of bet, parlays, individual bets, NHL, NBA, NFL, college football, college basketball, doesn't matter. All of my bets are on the SHARPZ app. The way SHARPZ works is you connect your sports book. So I connected DraftKings. Every bet that I make automatically shows up on SHARPZ. I can't hide them. I can't delete them. You see every bet that I make every day. So if you guys want to see my picks regardless of the sport, the type of day, the type of bet, whatever it is, make sure you DM Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram right now. And that way I can give you the link and the referral code so you can see all of my college football bets, all of my NBA bets, all of my NHL bets for Saturday, and the NFL picks that I will be giving out for tomorrow. Brody, I'd go Rice. Cassandra, I'd go Barkley. Allen or Howell, I'd go Sam Howell. Sam Howell over Allen. Nicholas, I'd go Musgrave. Brian, whether my picks are good or not, for those that are new to the show, the picks that I give out are not personal picks. It's not like my favorite team, my favorite player. They're all based on trends, data, and analytics. We use a variety of tools. Outlier, which is a phenomenal sports betting tool that allows me to see the trends, the matchups, the implied probability, the opponent ranking in terms of defense. So it allows us to dive into the trends. We also use killersports.com. Now, killersports.com isn't as good as Outlier, but it allows us to look up historical trends in a variety of different ways. So this is what I'd say, Brian. I'm not telling you to follow every bet that I make. You don't need to take every bet I make. I'm not even telling you that my bets are locks. I will never say a bet that I make is a lock. What I will say is every bet that I give out is based on data, trends, and analytics. So Brian, what I would really suggest is look at the picks that I make, and then if you go, hey, that aligns with the bet that I already was going to make, maybe that's enough confidence to then give you the go-ahead to make the bet that you want to make. The information I give out is meant to be informative. It's meant to be encouraging. It is not to give you a directive. It's not to say you should do this. It's to say this is what I'm doing based on the trends, data, and the research that I've done. If you want to follow, wonderful. If you don't, entirely up to you, Brian. But are our picks good? I will always say to you, we hit our individual bets at around a 60-65% clip. Parlays obviously bring us down because parlays are brutal, but from an individual bet standpoint, we cash at around a 63-65% clip on individual bets, maybe as low as 60 on some sports. We're better on basketball than we are on like hockey. Hockey player prop bets can be a little tricky. Bob, here you go. Bob Sanders wants all of our bets. Here you go, Bob. By the way, Brian, really appreciate the question. And by the way, I say all of that not to be wordy, but to let you guys know, I never want you guys to think of me as somebody who is coming down from high atop going, this is the bet. No, no, no. I just do my research. I spend all of my time. This is my business. This is what I do for a living. So I just put all of my research together. I put out picks. If you want to follow, wonderful. If you want to fade, totally up to you. But I never want you guys to think that I am really over pushing you into a position. I'm just trying to give you guys a direction. Then it's up to you to decide which way you want to go. Carson, Hall, Cooper for Kyron and Laporta. I'd rather have Hall and Cooper, I think. Hall and Cooper would be the plays I like more. Ed Monaco, I'd go Pollard. Ed Monaco, I'd go Pollard. Kanan, I'd go McBride. Kanan, I'd go McBride. Trey, I'd go White. Trey, I'd go Rashad White, just barely. Very close, though. Who should Chase owners trade for? Joshua, you might want to hold on to him for at least a week. But if you do move on from him, just know he's like wide receiver 2 value. Make sure you get enough back in exchange. Okay, guys, it is 11:30. We have been live for an hour and a half. I'm going to go off now, watch College Game Days, Pick'em segment, and do research for the NFL, NBA, and the NHL. We will have player prop bets later this afternoon. We are going to do a show at 4:30 this afternoon that'll have NBA player prop bets and some NFL picks for tomorrow. So make sure you guys join us at around 4:30. We will do another show today, another show at around 4:30 today. So make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you join us because we will be live on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick at 4:30 this afternoon to do another hour-long show. Again, we will also do a subscriber-only show at around 10:30 tonight. So, if you're not available this afternoon, maybe you join us tonight on TikTok for the subscriber show. If you don't want to subscribe tonight, maybe you join us for the 4 o'clock show. Either way, Butt Fumble Sports is live multiple times today. And of course, tomorrow we are live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. 10 a.m. in the morning. We will be live for 3 hours tomorrow. 2.5, 3 hours, giving out fantasy advice, sports betting advice, DFS advice, ranting about whatever topics you want us to, because we love talking sports with you guys every single day. I am so grateful to all of those that watch the show, all of those that support us every single day. Just want to give a big shout out to some of our very loyal viewers: Trinidad, Yusuf, David Pena, Eddie, Jose Perez, Ball Too Hard, Sammy, Vincent, Pat, Tucker, Sandsifter, Brian1123, DB, Mike, Travis Durham, Sal Arias, Manny G, Monkey, LC, Ant, The Dude, The Real, Niz22, Luke L, Nathaniel, Kentucky Fried, Uncle Buck, John, Mike United, Bailey, Rich, Joe, Jay Brandon, Sonny, Finley, Phil, Amo, Oscar Rivera, Garrett, Whoppy, Chris Smith, Paul L, Evan Patel, Andre, Michelangelo, Lane Johnson, Yo, Maddie, Honcho, Troy, Christian, Dante, Tony, Logan, Jake, Culp, Charles, Sergio, Pizzo, Brandon, Frankie, Andre, Slim, Pasty, and of course, a big shout out to our viewers over on YouTube, Majomes, King Croc, BTT Student, DG Graham, or D Graham rather, Yo Boy Alex, Dummy Man, Mark, Tem Yalima, Brendan, BYRX. Big shout out to you, John, Ashley, CMMIS. Big shout out to It's the Jerry Show, Ashley Owings, Luke G, and everyone who joined us today. I am so grateful for the support that you show my company, my network. I'm so grateful for you guys every single day. We will be live at 10 a.m. tomorrow, everybody. I know it's an early morning, Majomes, for you West Coasters. Maybe you guys join us when you wake up a little bit later, but I will be live at 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. this afternoon for everybody, no matter the platform, and then later tonight for subscribers. Until then, hope you stay safe, hope you stay healthy, have a wonderful afternoon, enjoy some good college football action, and I will be back around 4:30 this afternoon for another hour-long show. Until then, have a great day, everybody, and talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody.